There's been a lot of conversation on even the direction that the government is taking in as far as junior secondary school funding is concerned, and also staffing of teachers to teach in this particular docket. We find ourselves in transit in as far as the education system, but nonetheless, all candidates are going to be sitting the exams. Our thoughts are with you. May you be peaceful. May you remember all that you've learned in the last 4 years. And we start off the broadcast on that note, where 2.2 million candidates are set to sit for this year's Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination in 10,565 centers beginning today. Now, the Kenya National Examination Council says it is ready to administer the examinations, which will be conducted under tight security. Now, this comes as the pupils are also preparing to sit the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment next week. Now, Joseph Wahungu has the details of the final preparations, and we're going to be keeping tabs as the exams commence today. Over to you, Wahungu.
After the Mashujaa Day festivities, it is also go for Form 4 candidates who are set to sit for the national examination starting Tuesday. According to Kenya National Examination Council, NEC, this year's Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE exam will run from October 22nd to November 22nd.
In total this year, ladies and gentlemen, 1,313,913 candidates will sit for the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA, while 965,501 candidates will sit for the Kenya National Certificate for Secondary Education, KCSE.
In Murang'a County, 31,651 candidates are set to sit the exam.
Katika KCSE, wasichana watakuwa 16,146 na wavulana ambao watafanya huu mtihani wa kidato cha 4 ni 15,538. Kwa ujumla tutakuwa na wanafunzi wa KCSE 31,684.
Murang'a County Director of Education Ann Kihilu confirmed that requisite arrangements have been put in place to deter exam malpractices, even as head teachers in the county exuded confidence in the preparation of their candidates for the final exam.
Tumewaambia wasiwe na uoga. Tumehakikisha kwamba hakutakuwa na jambo lolote litafanya huu mtihani tusipate kitu inaitwa zero irregularity.
Additionally, the exam body says it will administer the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA, which is part of the competence-based curriculum CBC, between 22nd October and November 1st. 1,303,913 candidates are scheduled to write this assessment in 35,573 centers, which will also mark the completion of grade 6 education for students nationwide. This year's exam come against a backdrop in which the school calendar was disrupted owing to flooding and, in some instances, protests.
Take this opportunity to wish all the candidates throughout our country, Kenya, to wish them a very good performance and a moment that is peaceful, hopeful, joyous, even if challenging, but a moment that one can say that it's a good moment in one's life.
We reiterate that particular message for all students who are undertaking their exams to actually do their very best. We wish them all the wisdom and the peace that they require to undertake this particular milestone now. Now, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has written to the judiciary requesting an investigation into how one of his cases challenging his impeachment was assigned to a 3-judge bench without explicit direction from the Chief Justice. Now, in a letter to the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, Gachagua, through his lawyer John Jomo, says it appears there's a coordinated plan to undermine his rights by denying him a fair trial.
In a 6-page letter to the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, Impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua questions how a three-judge bench was hastily convened on Saturday to consider an application seeking to uplift an order blocking the swearing-in of Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President. Gachagua, through his lawyer John Jomo, claims that the jurisdiction of the Chief Justice is being usurped as one of the cases challenging his impeachment was moved from Justice Chacha Mwita to a three-judge bench without the express direction of Chief Justice Martha Koome. In the letter, Gashagua's lawyer alleges there is a well-orchestrated plan to undermine his client's rights by denying him a fair trial from the National Assembly to the Senate. Gashagua's legal team asserts that the three-judge bench comprising Justices Eric Ogola, Anthony Mrima and Fred Mugambi was constituted to oversee 6 cases and is set to address 2 more on Tuesday, October 22nd, despite not being appointed to handle those cases. The judges are also accused in the letter of stating there was no open date to hear the petitioners' cases until October 29. However, when the government approached the same bench with 2 new cases, the bench managed to find availability for hearings before the 29th, including a sitting on Saturday, October 19th. The three-judge bench is scheduled to hold an inter-parties hearing on Tuesday to consider a suit challenging Gashagua's impeachment.
Now, Tana River's Senator Danson Mungatana has faulted impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over his allegations of a plot by the state to assassinate him, urging him to stop the sideshows. Now, this comes as Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah dismissed claims he is angling to be nominated to the position of Interior CS following the approval of Professor Kithure Kindiki by the National Assembly as Deputy President nominee. Here's Timothy Kipnusu with the details.
The allegations by the impeached Deputy President Sunday of a plot to assassinate him by the state has been received with criticism, with Tana River County Senator Danson Mungatana faulting Gachagua over his utterances.
Sasa hii mambo yote siku hizi zote hatukusikia mpaka siku ile tumekuondoa. Mpaka siku ile tumekupigia Senate kura kusema ondoka, ndio sasa unatuambia nilikuwa nataka kuuawa, hata wale ni wabaya, yule ni mbaya, huyu ni mbaya. Unajua mwanaume kamili, kama mnaenda mnafanya kitu na we umeshikwa na wenzako hawakushikwa, huwezi simama uanze sema sikuwa mimi peke yangu, nilikuwa na yule na yule na yule. Haiendi namna hiyo.
Mungatana cautioned Gachagua against utterances that could spark tension in the country. The senators cautioned leaders against making statements that can polarize and destabilize peace and unity in the country.
Kuwa makamu wa rais ni kitu Mungu amekupatia, yani ni baraka kubwa sana. Ingekuwa kila asubuhi unaamka ukiomba Mungu, lakini imekuwa kila asubuhi unaamka unaenda kuteta pale, unaenda kuteta pale, unaenda kuteta pale. Sisi hatutaki namna hiyo. Sisi wa Kenya tunataka amani.
Elsewhere, Kikuyu lawmaker National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has downplayed claim that he is eyeing to take over the helm of the Ministry of Interior with the nomination of Kithure Kindiki to deputize the president. Speaking at Pangani, Kilifi County, Ichung'wah said that he was contended with the majority leader position in parliament.
Nimesikia mko na maneno mpaka yuko kiongozi aliongea hapa akasema wewe tunaona uende waziri wa interior. Lakini nataka nimwambie huyo kiongozi, mimi niko na kazi. Nastaki watu wachanganywe. Muliona niliongoza mambo ya mswada wa impeachment huko bunge, na niwashukuru hao wabunge wetu sababu wote walishirikiana na sisi.
So, in regard to the statements that were the press conference that was held by none other than the impeached deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, a letter to various media outlets by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has so far summoned, that is, Rigathi Gachagua has been summoned in regard to his utterances during a press conference on the 20th of October, where he publicly stated that there had been multiple assassination attempts on his life. And In part, this particular letter signed by J.K. Marete, that is on behalf of the Director of Criminal Investigations, in part reads, and I quote, you went further to state on September 3rd, another team from the National Intelligence Service came to Nyeri and tried to poison food that was meant for me and the Gikuyu Council of Elders, end of quote. Now, these are serious allegations emanating from a person of your stature and cannot be taken lightly. In light of the seriousness of this matter, we kindly request your presence on the 22nd of October 2024 at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters at the Mazingira Complex, Kiambu Road, to formally record your statement to enable prompt and thorough investigations into the matter. As it stands, today is our day, 22nd of October 2024, and our various sleuths as well as reporters are going to definitely be picking up on this matter. And we'll be actually doing a stakeout at the Kiambu, Mazingira Complex, Kiambu Road, the DCI headquarters, to see if indeed Rigathi Gachagua is going to honor this particular invite regarding alleged assassination attempts. Now, a section of business persons say that the current political climate is affecting the business environment in the country. A spot check by KBC Channel 1 in Kiambu County revealed that most businesses are struggling to remain afloat, with most of them yet to fully recover from the various disruptions that have been experienced in the country post the general elections of 2022. Now, as Frederick Pasayo reports, business persons have expressed growing pessimism over the current political situation surrounding the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua and its potential to negatively impact investor confidence in the country.
Constant disruption through protest, labor strife, and unending politicking, which has now been further fueled by the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, is negatively affecting the country's development, especially the business environment in the country. Yes. A spot check by KBC Channel 1 in Kiambu County revealed a stark reality, with many business people saying their businesses are struggling to stay afloat.
The environment that our government is giving us is not conducive for our business. The politics of now and then has really affected our business. What we elected them for is for them to go and make policies that are affecting our business positively.
They say the political climate is negatively affecting investor confidence, with some of them opting to relocate to other countries, hence affecting the forces of demand and supply.
There's no growth. Big investors are leaving this country to other environment like the neighboring country to go and do their business there. So people are running away, and also there's no money circulation in our country. Reason being, there's no conducive environment that has been caused by the political instability in our country.
These business people growing pessimism in the business environment, further aggravated by the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Business people are now calling on the government and politicians to refocus their energies on service delivery to Kenyans instead of championing for only issues that benefit them.
Most of our leaders, they are not giving priority to the economic activities which we as a business fraternity we expected.
Tunaomba pia uongozi uliopo uheshimu mahakama ikuwe na freedom ili waweze kufanya ama kudischarge their duties without frustrations or favor. Hiyo ndio tunaomba kwa serikali, na sana tunaomba amani.
Police in Kakamega County are hunting for a woman who has been linked to the death of a 55-year-old man. The man's body was found in a lodging he allegedly frequented at Shibuli Market, Lurambi constituency. Meanwhile, a family in Siembeni area of Kibwezi, Makueni County is crying for justice after their kin was brutally murdered by a person they say is well known to them. Tilio Marco with the details.
Witnesses say tablets and condoms were found beside the lifeless body of the 55-year-old man. They say his death might have been as a result of ingesting the tablets.
Ya nini ujiwekelee marisasi 20 na hiyo ikuue?
The owner of the lodging, Velma Achema, says the deceased was a common customer, arrived at 11 a.m. and booked the lodging before a woman appeared shortly and joined him.
Vijana wangu walikuwa busy wakijua mteja baada anapumzika. Kijana wakati alienda huko ilikuwa mwendo wa saa 1 ya usiku, akapata mwanamke hayuko, lakini mteja amelala chini.
The body of the deceased is lying at the Kakamega Referral Hospital awaiting postmortem.
Zile madawa ipigwe marufuku, sababu si kitu ya kwanza, ni kitu inafanyika. Hata juzi kule Makunga tulisikia kuna mtu alipatikana kwa room na hizo makaratasi, na msichana ametoroka, hizo madawa zimemshinda na nguvu, amekufa.
Meanwhile, a family in Siembeni area of Kibwezi, Makueni County has to endure the pain of losing their loved one who was murdered by a person well known to the family. The family says they are not sure they'll get justice for their kin Peter Kasim, who was brutally murdered last week.
Watu wakajaribu kumtetea, watu kadhaa ambao mtu alikuwa anajitokezea peke yake, anaona mbona pale kuna mtu anapigwa, akifika wanaona ni Peter, akijaribu kumtetea wanashindwa sababu wanaona huyu mtu ni mkali, ni kama amekuwa trend.
Na mambo imekuwa tu inafanyika na hakuna mtu anashikwa, hakuna mtu anawekwa ndani na pia hakuna mtu anafungwa. So inaonekana watu hapa wamezoea kuuana na hakuna jambo linafanyika.
The area residents are now demanding that relevant bodies ensure the culprit has been brought to book, failure to which they threaten to take the law into their own hands.
Sasa sisi kama watu wa Siembeni tunataka haki yetu. Kama huyo mtu hajashikwa kuanzia sasa, sisi tunataka haki yetu.
Kama watachukua hatua lazima na wao wasikanyage hapa Siembeni. Usiku ile tutawaona tu, lazima tutachukua hatua kama wananchi, kwa sababu hiyo si haki ya mtu kuuliwa na hakuna kitu amefanya.
The deceased was working as a guard at Siembeni Market. And finally, police are investigating the alleged murder of 52-year-old Ann Amimo, who was reportedly stabbed repeatedly by a stepson.
Boniface aliniambia kuna mambo huyo yanamsumbua, na tulikuwa na fundi mwingine akasema ati hapa kuna watu ambao wanasumbua yeye, na ameambiwa na waombaji, na hao waombaji walimwambia, akataja majina, akasema baba huyu Wesanza, alafu akasema mama yake.
Nilikaa kama siku 2-3, akaniambia madhe, hata kama umeruti hapa, mimi kwa hii nyumba yangu silalangi. Nikamuuliza kwani haulalangi, shida ni nini? Eti kuna vitu huwa vinatembea kwa nyumba yangu vikininyonga. Nikamwambia suluhisho ni maombi.
The suspect is said to have attacked her on allegation she was responsible for his misfortunes through use of demonic powers. The early morning tragedy took place at Shironyanga village, Navagoro constituency, Kakamega County.
May the souls of the departed rest in peace. But then the question is, what's the difference between he came, he went, we are going? To sports now. Nairobi City Thunder qualified for the Africa Basketball League Elite 16 round after finishing second during the Eastern Division Group D qualifiers held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Thunder sealed their slot in the Elite League after seeing off round of 16 Jeshi la Kujenga Taifa JKT of Tanzania 83-63 in their final robin match. Now Thunder won the first and second.
We're about halfway through this first quarter of action. Offensive rebound in the post, up for two. Ongwe tried to come in for a block.
We wish the team all the best in that upcoming match. Now, with the date for the national football elections fast approaching, aspirants are intensifying their campaigns in efforts to woo voters. Presidential candidate Hussein Mohammed and his running mate MacDonald Mariga were at the coast region where they met football stakeholders, urging them to vote wisely during the December 7th elections. This and other stories in our local sports roundup.
During a football symposium that drew participants from the 6 coastal counties, Hussein Mohammed and his running mate MacDonald Mariga urged delegates in attendance to make a wise decision during the polls, saying they would revitalize beach soccer in the country. Hussein, who will be having a second stab at the country's top football seat, also underscored the importance of proper sporting infrastructure at the coast. Hussein will battle for the presidential seat with 8 other candidates who have shown intention of vying. The Football Kenya Federation Electoral Board is expected to publish the final list of contestants on November 2nd.
We must take this opportunity ya environment ya Coast Region ama Mombasa to attract not only sponsorship but big competitions. So beach football will be on top of our agenda. La pili, kutoka tupate independence nchi. It is a shame that hatuna FIFA standard international stadium Coast. It is one of the things I will champion with my team.
Fadhali, pale mashinani, hata wale si wetu, tuongee nao. Tuambie saa hii ni change. Kwa sababu watu wametunyanyasa, hakuna kitu imekuwa ikionekana hapa. Sasa tukienda hapo mashinani tunawaambia wewe umefaidika na nini? Kwa hiyo timu imeisha ulifaidika aje? Huyo mtu ulimpigia kura ulionana na yeye? Hii timu hapa zinahangaika juu ya transport ama nini? Iko solution tunaweza tafuta. Tukiwa kama timu ya Mombasa hapa tutafute hiyo solution.
Also, Cyrus Barmasai and Grace Mwangi clinched victory in the men's and women's 21-kilometer races during the Standard Chartered Mombasa Satellite Run. Cyrus Barmasai clocked 1 hour, 16 minutes and 52 seconds to win the men's race ahead of Boniface Kiprotich and Eric Shikuku, who are ranked in 2nd and 3rd positions respectively. Grace Mwangi clocked 2 hours, 24 minutes and 3 seconds to win the women's race, as Tamnai Miriam and Molly Yanda were placed in 2nd and 3rd position respectively. The Satellite Run attracted a total of 650 participants who took part in the 21-kilometer race and the 5-kilometer family fun run and the 10-kilometer races. This year's Nairobi Standard Chartered Marathon is scheduled October 27th here in Nairobi. Finally, Muthaiga Golf Club's Dr. Bupinda Ril and his son, 12-year-old Joven Ril, emerged the winners of the Shujaa Memorial Parent and Child Golf Tournament held at Muthaiga Golf Club. Dr. Bupinda and his son returned as score 38 to finish first ahead of George Wainaina and Abby Wainaina, who came in second with 35 points. In the junior girls category, Kanana Mudhomi emerged the winner with 42 points, while Princess Tai Kavore was second on 37 points. Joven Ril won the junior boys category with 46 points. The tournament was held in honor and memory of Karaoke Kavore, who holds the record of the youngest hole-in-one player at Muthaiga Golf Club. The tournament was also used to raise awareness on chronic children's diseases. Bana.